what are we supposed to do when we get rejected when communicating our need for affirmation that we don't feel is happening? That's a great question. See if you can imagine the part of you that feels that desire for affirmation. See if you can actually tune into it in your body or notice how you sense it. If you can picture that part and see what it might be saying to you. It's probably saying, do you even care about me? Do you love me? Am I good enough? Imagine that this is like a scared, hurt inner child. We all have this. We have all had the experience of not being seen and loved and understood the way that we wanted to, usually when we were young. And we carry a piece of that with us. And if we don't go in and kind of suture up that hurt, it will continue to follow us into our relationships. So becoming aware that there is a piece inside of you that's really wanting affirmation. And this piece is a child, and children don't have the ability to give themselves affirmation. They just don't. They don't know how. How would they know? No one ever taught them. If you didn't have a parent who affirmed you, you don't know how to affirm yourself. So this child part thinks that it has to come from your attachment figure. It thinks it has to come from your parent. And when we get to be relationship age, our main attachment figure becomes our partner. And we kind of subconsciously end up treating our partner as if they are our parent and looking for that nurturing from them. So imagine this scared inner child part is like, I need affirmation. So you've got to do it. Partner, parent, it has to be from you. If I don't get it from you, I'm not going to get it from anybody. And so then there's the panic and the devastation and the disappointment when that doesn't happen. Sometimes we get into a relationship just with this idea or the belief that that other person should provide for us. Like, you should love me this way. You're my boyfriend. You're my girlfriend. You're my husband. You're my wife. You're supposed to do this. You are supposed to. You're not fulfilling your job expectations if you don't do it. And it's like, yeah, that's what our culture tells us to believe. So it's like, of course you believe that. Of course you have that. This person will fulfill all of your needs. They will be the most tender, amazing lover and a great cook and your personal therapist and the person who motivates you to work out and the person that you do your favorite hobby together with. They'll be your everything. Yay. And then we get in a relationship. We're like, this isn't working. You're not doing all the things for me. What's up? So it's kind of like waking up to the idea of we all have these inner children that want to be taken care of. And we all have an inner adult that is fully capable of taking care of our inner children and also meeting the inner child of our partner. We don't want our partners to feel pressured and hemmed in and suffocated by the amount of need that we have. So that's why it's important to learn to meet our own needs and to confront, get curious about the parts of ourselves that keep us from meeting our own needs. To get curious about that. What is happening? How do I talk myself out of meeting my own needs? It might be like I dissociate so much from my emotions because I think that they would be overwhelming that I leave my body and then I don't even notice what I'm needing. I don't notice when I'm hungry. I don't notice when I'm tired. I don't notice when I have that urge of desire come up when I see something. I don't even notice. I'm not even present. So then step one is to be present and notice when you want things and when you have desire. And then after that, then it's like, okay, if I know what I want, how am I holding myself back from going after it? Oh, I'm not worthy. It wouldn't work out anyway. It would be so disappointing if I got it and then it all went away. So I'm not even going to ask for it. I hate hearing no. When I hear no, it just completely devastates me. It feels like so bad of rejection, so I won't even ask. Those are things that we can clear up one at a time. The shift actually is to see about your willingness to provide that affirmation to yourself. Imagine you could sit down in like a really friendly, open way next to that inner child and just say, first, tell me about it. Tell me about your pain before we try to make it go away with affirmation or telling ourselves it's all going to be okay. Because that can be a way of just shushing that pain. I don't want to hear it. Go away. Okay, it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. Shut up. It's the message that it ends up getting. It's not going to work. It really needs to be heard out first. So imagine you could turn to your inner child and be like, hey, what do you need affirmation about? So think about this, a place in your life where you are currently craving affirmation, where you're really wanting that from another person. What do you want them to say to you? What pain do you want them to acknowledge? Just take a moment to recognize what that might be. What pain, burden, tiredness, exhaustion, hurt do you really just wish that someone would see? And tell yourself about it for a second. This is why it's been overwhelming. This is why it's been so hurtful. Let that express. And then see if you can turn to yourself and say, that makes sense. I get it. I'm really understanding you. And imagine you have this energy of understanding that you extend outward toward that scared and hurt part of you. And you could say, what else? What else do you want to tell me about the overwhelm that you've been feeling? What's it been like for you? How long have you been carrying this? How heavy has that been to carry that hurt for so long? And then you can, again, send out your compassion. And then ask this part of you what affirmation it most wants to hear. What do you wish that someone was telling you? You're doing a good job. I see you. I understand. You've been through a lot. I'm sorry. I'm sorry it's been so hard for you. Tell me more. I'm here for you. You're doing really well. Noticing if there's a specific affirmation that you really want to get, and see if you can send that to yourself. And notice, is there any action item that might go with that? If you really received that affirmation deeply, if you knew that was true, like if you're like, I am doing a good job, and it has been really heavy. I am carrying too much. If you knew, whatever that thing that you tell yourself, if you knew that was true, what would that compel you to do? How could you take better care of yourself this next week? Commit to doing that self-care. Imagine that you have affirmed yourself. You're no longer going to the place of, am I crazy? Am I asking for too much? Am I too much? Am I not enough? Imagine you're not doing that anymore. You're just like, yeah, I have a reason to feel the way that I do. This totally makes sense. And then imagine you have a lot of self-care happening. Whatever you could fit, like even just starting with 15 minutes a day of like solid, focusing on yourself, laying on the ground, looking up at the sky, painting, drawing, meditating, stretching, getting into your body, going for a walk, whatever that thing is that would like get your energy moving and feel like, yeah, I'm taking care of myself. Imagine you do at least 15 minutes a day for a week and you're affirming yourself and you're like, I have a right to feel the way that I do. Then imagine approaching your partner with that energy to go, hey, I'm just curious. It would mean a lot to me if I could hear from you that fill in the blank, that you really care, that you see how hard I'm working. It would mean a lot to me if you could let me know that you get that. I would feel really connected. Then you're coming from a place of request instead of demand.